And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Select Start Network. I am one of your hosts, Justin Larshey, and with me is a returning crowd favorite, Liberty Roundtree. Hello, Liberty.
Really butchered the name.
I really fucked that up. I went like Ribbery.
Hello, everybody, and Justin, hello. I'm glad to be back on the show.
Are you sure? You don't sound very glad there.
Sorry, I was thinking about Jason Solo's, who is also Darth Caedus? I don't know.
So he's a Sith Lord?
Maybe. We're looking at the extended universe.
Yeah, because that shit don't exist anymore. It's not official.
The extended universe of Star Wars and Han Solo's kid who eventually turns bad.
Which is pretty much Ben Solo.
Yep. And, oh yeah, they did kind of take that whole storyline, didn't they? That's dope. Anywho, let's get into the show.
Yep. So, Lib.
Yes.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
You've been a busy boy.
I have been.
We've been doing some magical things.
What magical things could you be talking about?
Well, I mean, there's your production.
Yeah, there is that production.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. We've been shooting my my mini narrative that
Short narrative.
Short narrative. Not even mini. It's short at this point. That I wrote and then directed, and we had Justin as my DP and like lead camera person basically. Ilyana was our PM or project manager and assistant director, so she just kept everything in line and kept everything organized. Again, did a great job on it. Nicole was script supervisor.
Continuity.
So she made sure that we were getting all the shots and stuff. And
which she hated you for.
Yeah. Just the last one is audio. We had Cole on audio, and he did a great job too. Just kept the boom working and stuff. But going back to why Nicole hates me is because as director, I have a shot list provided, which has every shot that I need, and then she has to know what shot we're doing at the time so she can log it, basically. But I have a very, as Justin said, improvisational type of, I don't know. I improv when I direct. I get like, my shots are very, I have set what I want to shoot, but when it comes to actually shooting it, I'm going to shoot a little bit out of order, and I'm going to maybe get different shots a little bit different. So it was hell for her when she was trying to figure out like which shots were which, because she asked me what shot it was, and I wouldn't know, so I'd just say the letter after we were on. So literally, like, tomorrow when she's logging everything, like I told her, I'm like, I'm going to be there to basically help you because it's going to be so out of order.
Yeah, because like the way that our shot list is, it's pretty much like we literally, like you said, we have to everything has to be written out to like what kind of shot it is, a letter to it, and I think that might be it. And like then if we have different takes, well then that happens on the fucking slate. But yeah, you'd be like, okay, we're gonna go for this thing says medium shot. You know, I think I want to go for a wide shot, and she'd be like, but that's not what it says. You don't have to worry about it. We'll fix it later.
So yeah, and I am hell to work with. Well, I don't know.
You're not. You keep saying that, and you're not. You're really not.
Wait, hold on. I like this nice little, not to point it out, but I like this dramatic shot of all of our our setup.
It's beautiful.
And Marty in the middle.
I mean, you are so obsessed with Marty in the middle.
It just sounds like Michael J. Fox coming back to be Malcolm in the Middle for some reason. It's like, who would want that in like reality? Yeah, but really old Michael J. Fox playing a kid. Oh my God! If they brought Bryan Cranston, then yes, I would.
Yeah, see, get Bryan Cranston, and they can get fucking. Wow, I'm gonna feel retarded because I can't. Like Christopher Lloyd. I don't know why I was screwed up on that guy's name so much. Isn't it Christopher Lloyd? Am I messing up his name that badly?
Wait, which one are you talking about?
Marty. Yeah, it's Christopher Lloyd, right?
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah. My brain, dude, I'm so fucking tired from this production.
Yeah, true.
Like, I gotta say, like, that's the one thing I totally did not expect. So, we did stuff on Thursday in the bedroom scene, which what I thought was gonna be one of the fastest things to do ended up being one of the more grueling. Ones,
yeah.
Because, like, the way that we had our things going, we had Colin, podcast world famous Colin.
Wait, hold up. Our actors, we had Colin in it, and we had
Molina.
Not Moo.
Molina.
Molina. I don't know.
You keep adding.
I know. I
adding
feel really bad too, but
she was great, by the way.
she was fantastic.
Which I gotta say, this was our first time actually dealing with an actor, like an actress
Yeah,
that's
like
outside of our group.
And like, it was just so nice that like I thought I was gonna come on. They were gonna go through it. I was gonna give some directions. Have to go through tone. They sat down for the first scene when they were together.
Yep.
And nailed it. Got exactly what I wanted, and I was like,
instant chemistry.
yeah, exactly. I was like, this is perfect. I love it. Like I'm so happy with this.
Yeah.
So then we ended up shooting all our stuff with them. Both fantastic. But yeah, that first shoot was just Colin, and it was basically a shot of a bedroom, but it was 3 different stages, like first night, second night, third night. And during all of those shots, he had to change clothes, and some of them we had to garbage bag up windows and change lighting, and it was just all little things for like little shots. And we were all stuffed in one tiny room with hot lights and stuff. And
a student bedroom, right?
Yeah.
Because this was a student housing. That when Nicole lent us her house for this, and trying to cram Ileana, Nicole, Cole, myself, and you, and Colin with lights.
We were trying to think about who we could take out so that it wasn't as like big, but then. Like when we first started shooting, it's like I want this. We're not going to do sound, but then I realized I want the sound of him laying in bed,
the rustling.
He belches a couple words. He just goes like, "Fuck," like he just kind of like whispers it, and I was like, I want the. It's like so I'm like, okay, we got to bring audio back in.
Yeah.
You know, AD has to be in there to make sure everything's working, and she was working on lighting. You have to be there because the camera. Nicole had to be there because she was slating and stuff. And literally the only person that didn't have to be there was me, but I kind of had to be there to make sure that.
Well, you had to make sure the performance is what you wanted.
And I had to make sure I was getting the shots and stuff.
Yeah.
So then it was all 5 of us in this small room. I think what ended up happening is there's this one space with like a chair that was just taking up space. So I was just sitting in that chair, like maneuvering. There's a couple of times where I was on top of the bed looking down at shots and stuff.
Just literally like peering down at the Colin as he's like acting.
We almost flipped the bed.
Because I was sitting on it, then you went on it, and the bitch like, it came right up.
I was.
What? Beauty in the... Yes, Tyler, I know. It's a great movie, okay? We're all happy about it.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, it was stressful, but it was genuinely pretty fun, and I think the product's gonna look nice.
Oh, it's gonna look great.
Which is good.
But yeah, like that one fucking room.
Yep.
I'm
never shooting a bedroom scene again.
Like so no offense to Nicole, but nothing in a room that small. We can't do it again.
Oh hell no.
There's no way. It hurts the insides just thinking about it.
Well, I mean, it was student housing, right? So it's like, it's not going to be like the biggest.
But also what didn't help is that we had the ARRI lights in there. And for people who don't know, the ARRI lights are pretty much their studio lights, or like on like mobile studio lights. And you have different ones. You can get like a 150, a 350, and a 650. I think it's what it is. And we had the 150, which is like, well, it's only about yay big. Like, it's nothing special, right? That on is not bad. The 650. Oh my God!
It was brighter than her actual light. Like, the light that she had in her room. We shined it up at the ceiling.
Yeah,
and it was the brightest thing in the room. Lit up the entire room.
And the heat that emitted from that fucking thing. And like as director and cameraman, like we're like next to the light, so you could like feel like the burns happening on your neck. You're like, Jesus fucking Christ!
It was literally like you would walk out of the room and it was like. It was like
it felt like it was like -20 outside. You're like, Jesus Christ, this feels so good.
I know. So yeah, it was hectic. It was fun.
Yep.
It was a bit stressful. I could tell everyone was getting a bit like nippish at each other, but I mean that was just time and stuff. And
that's the heat, man. Like the heat, the claustrophobia sinks in,
and stuff like that. But at the end, we were all happy with it, and I think that in the edit room, it's really going to come together nicely.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, that's basically it. That'll be the basics.
And then what I thought was going to be the hardest part was going to be the stuff at the school,
which was the easiest.
Literally, like. We set up for an hour. You always do like a crew call an hour before your talent arrives so that everything is set up and ready to go. And we did that. And I guess just before I showed up, Colin was there. So he kind of rehearsed his stuff. Everything was going great.
It was the VO. We got the VO done like hours before than we thought we were going.
Yeah, because we were gonna plan on doing it like today.
Yeah,
we were gonna do it in the studio right now, right before we went live. We were gonna get Colin to do the VO. Which we did inside the classroom, which was great. Molina comes in. Literally 30 minutes. We spent 30 minutes doing what we thought was going to take, because we rented that room from 2 to 6. So we thought that was going to take the majority of the time. Nope, fucking just flew right by it, man.
Exactly.
We even added a couple extra parts in there. of like the comedic thing with the professor. Like that got thrown in, which is great. We go over to Oasis, same thing. Like that was the easiest fucking shoot.
One thing about Oasis that I wish we got, which we literally can do anytime, is I wish we got more random establishing or glamour shots. Because like at least in the classroom we have the shots of the people being bored and the you writing. I totally forgot we got the shots we wanted for Oasis, and I was like, oh, we don't have.
Well, we can always just go back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I mean it's a conversation. It's not like you have to have 30 cutaways in a conversation.
Exactly right. Well, then it gets disjointed, right? If you have too many cutaways, people are going to be like, it's hard to look at.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had the party scene. The party scene ended up, I think, honestly, second to the bedroom, or might have been worse than.
The party scene was long.
Yes, I think it wasn't hard. It was just long.
And it was the end of the day. It was long.
We were tired.
People came over to like help us shoot it, but then they were kind of getting bored too. So then everyone was just talking really loud, and we want to shoot something. So you literally have to yell, and then everyone had to be quiet.
And poor Ileana, because she's the production manager, had to be like, "Quiet on set!"
Basically.
Yeah.
I mean, again, though, she was doing a fantastic job because everyone shut up when she did that.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want to piss her off.
But, what did you say?
No, he's talking to Tyler.
I thought he said Justin, and I was just like...
He might have, but the cameraman's talking to the TV.
I am sorry, okay?
I did say Justin, but I was trying to tell Tyler. Show the cup.
Oh, RoboCup? Wait, show it to camera 2.
Go to this one. Go to camera 2. Ba-na-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na, na-na-na-na. And then you go, I even have a catchphrase for him. You ready for this?
Please tell me you don't.
So you know how he says, dead or alive, you're coming with me?
Yeah.
It's decaffeinated or not, you're coming with me. Get it? Oh, yeah, that's so good.
I don't want to live.
That's my line. That's still my lines.
Oh my god, dude.
It's like you've been a million nights awake.
No, it's not even my A. I feel like sometimes I look at myself, I got like a Forrest Whitaker eye. Where like the one eye is
you get the crazy eye?
A little bit like that crazy shit.
Holy shit. No, it's so yeah, the production itself is gonna be great. I think the most interesting part's gonna be what do we got a comment?
Yeah, it's Colin.
What's he saying?
He said, "What a shit catchphrase."
Oh, you piece of shit, Colin! You come say that to my face, Colin. Where are you?
F you.
See,
is F you, bud? Is that too mean for our audience? Should I be nicer?
The Colin?
No, F you, bud.
I mean, look, it's his fault for not being here.
Okay, what the fuck is that?
I went for a fake choke and got a real choke. Oh, fuck, that was terrible.
All right, well, what else can we talk about?
Well, we were talking about Star Wars, obviously, on the pre-show, and then just when the show started. And I was talking about, we talked about Rey, and how Rey wasn't, like, special anymore. Like, we were talking about, because, like, Rey could be the new Skywalker. Yeah. And I'm like, well, no, not according to Rian Johnson. But then I said, actually, with JJ, that might actually change. So, there was an interview not too long ago that happened with, what's his tits? Simon Pegg, beautiful man. Who obviously acted in Star Wars Force Awakens. He was a giant slug alien dude.
Yep.
He was like 2 portions.
Yeah.
Well, he was talking about how JJ had this vision with Rey, and he obviously set it up in the first film, like not talking about the parents and like having these like very glamorous shots, like the spaceship flying away. Be like, what could this be? And obviously when Rian Johnson came in, he's like, no, they're junkers. They're piece of shits. You know this. Admit it. And then he gets her to say it.
Yeah, well, it kind of like, that was one thing for me. It was like, you have 3 movies and you're setting up this illusion of maybe she's a Skywalker, all this. And then in the second one, like halfway through, you're just like, no. And it's like, oh, okay. Well,
yeah. Well,
I mean, she's still cool, but like that wraps up that. So.
Well, it's this problem with like that Lucasfilm, or I guess now Disney, has an issue with their directors. When they get these big name directors, they give them a lot of, which normally is a great thing, a lot of creative control over the storylines. Obviously, Kathleen Kennedy, who's been a part of this entire time with Lucasfilm, with George Lucas years ago, still has like, here's like the overarching way that I want this to be done. But in between, you can change a couple of things with the directors, right? So Abrams wanted probably Rey to be a Skywalker or some kind of relative.
I think he wanted to, at least, think he wanted to let you think about it.
Yes,
That's
more.
what I think.
Yeah, maybe a tease.
Less about like he's gonna confirm it or anything. That more about like, well, I'm gonna let you decide.
Yeah.
She clearly has some relation, and then Ryan was like, no, let's just stop it.
Yeah, stop it right away. And now Abrams may potentially come back in and be like, no, it's Kylo is just fucking with you. He's a liar. He's a deceiver. Truly, your parents are something special. He just wanted you to join the dark side. So now it's like this weird tug of war between directors of like who's retconning who.
And then Ray has this line. He's like, Ryan Johnson isn't that good of a director. It's like, why would Ray say that?
Yeah, like the main villain's literally called Ryan Johnson.
What?
Lightsaber. We're talking about Star Wars. Which technically this is not a lightsaber. If you
How do I turn it on? Oh,
if you read it, what's it called, Lynn?
Ep15. Space sword.
There you go. What the fuck did you just say?
I don't know. It's the
Épée spéciale.
That is loud as hell.
It almost sounds like a lightsaber, but it's
my
not.
green space sword. In the space sword universe, the green actually is the bad guys. That's the. So okay, talking about Star Wars,
Yeah.
there is something I want to bring up
Okay.
because it was something I was excited about until I heard more about it.
Oh shit! What's going on?
That is the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of it.
But did you hear what happened on set?
No.
It wasn't anything bad, but it wasn't anything like
Not like
harassment,
before.
anything like that. But two things. First, being at the halfway through the shoot, basically.
Yep.
The two directors got fired.
Yeah.
Ron Howard got picked up again. Did you hear about the acting coach?
Acting coach?
Han Solo, like the guy playing Han
Yeah.
Solo, they had to bring in an acting coach for
Okay.
him.
To like get like
Not-
Harrison Ford mannerisms or Han
Not
Solo?
even about Harrison Ford, just about how he wasn't doing a good job.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Snap. That's
So apparently, from what I've said, it's like the acting coach worked with him, and they've created. Now it's like, okay, he's starting to get the performance and stuff. It's just like, you cast somebody and had to bring in an acting coach.
so. Do
That's
you
a
think,
bit like,
Could that be one of the reasons why the directors got let go?
The reason I was talking to somebody about it, and they said one of the reasons the directors got let go was apparently they weren't giving enough direction. Like they said, there was quoted many times where the directors would go up to people and say, "Okay, next time just do it differently," and the actors would be like,
What does that mean?
"Okay,"
Yeah.
and then they do it with an accent or something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. You killed my father.
it's like they just weren't professional enough for
Really? Yeah.
Disney's liking. So they brought in Ron Howard. It's nice to see now. It's like apparently the acting coach made it a lot better.
Yeah.
Ron Howard's gonna make it
A lot
good
better.
and stuff like that. But it's just like,
Well, in that situation, the actor can't really be blamed for getting an acting coach because it could have been that since there was no real direction, potentially. If this is what is true, if the original, I always forget the names, Lord and Miller, something like that, right? The directors
It's
from
the two people.
Yeah, from the Lego movie. If they weren't giving any direction, I could see how maybe they wanted to get an acting coach now, because now this guy who's made up what he thought was going to be Han Solo in his brain, and now Ron Howard comes in and is like, no, like this is not the Han Solo that I want.
My guess and my speculation about it is that the first directors, they had a different vision in terms of make it less like Han Solo, more like young Han Solo, and then
Right.
I feel like Ron Howard's gonna come in there and say, okay, but you can't just take away mannerisms of the character.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. Still, one thing that never ceases to excite me for it is Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian.
Now, what if I want to blow your mind here? What if the acting coach wasn't for the guy who's playing Han Solo?
Well, I don't care.
What if it's for Donald Glover?
Donald Glover is the acting coach? Don't you dare say that.
They got him to do this. Like, do you want to be in the movie, Donald? you know what? You
Well,
look
I
like
mean,
a
also, it's like, I feel like Lando's not as fleshed out as a character where you need to bring in somebody to say, this is how you be Lando.
Yeah,
It's just like,
but in that aspect, he is an amazing character because if he's very outlandish and very like playboyish.
yeah, and you tell me Donald Glover can't be that?
no, I'm not saying that at all.
Exactly. I'm just from the start seeing him in that one trailer. We get that first shot of him with
Him
him
just like-
standing there. It's like it's okay, but then you get that one where he's like sitting down and
Yeah.
he like does that smile. I'm like, oh my god, because he's just. I feel like he's gonna come in and he's gonna have like this sarcastic, just kind of like confident asshole
yeah.
thing to him, and I'm so excited for it. And I am excited to see what they do with Han Solo, because I like the look of the guy. I think that I mean, although he doesn't really look like Harrison Ford, I like the young Han Solo look that he's going for. It comes down to how he acts. That was always my
and
thing I was scared
now
about.
are you a little bit on like now you're on shakier grounds than you were before?
Yeah, I was. Well, I'm gonna go see it, and I love Star Wars, so I've always been like, you know, I love the story, and I think Solo is a great. Oh my God, Haley just said.
Yeah, I just read that. Please put down your sword.
But his character is just so cool that I've been waiting for a movie where it's about him being him. It just sucks that it's not Harrison Ford doing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, Harrison Ford never really liked the character, to be honest.
Well, he always wanted him to die after a while.
Yeah,
albeit
like
it's any character that he's ever played. He's like, if I'm coming back, you're gonna kill me.
Ray's parents can be Skywalkers. That makes it more fun.
See, so
Star Wars isn't about telling fucking
epic stories.
Well, it is about.
No, it's not. It's not. It's literally Star Wars is about telling the story of the Skywalker family. Mm-hmm. It just happens to have an epic battle behind it,
and it's my one thing is, again, I have a lot with The Last Jedi is I think that you can make a movie fun without making it unrealistically stupid. Mm-hmm. Like, remember that one part where he's going to crash into that, or Finn's about to crash into that thing, and
sacrifice himself.
You're like, this is his big sacrifice. But then somehow the girl catches up in the exact same thing when she was moving backwards and catches him from the side.
Not only catches up, but then to have enough speed to be in front of him pretty much, then turn the corner to the hard 90-degree, bam, checks him off.
I remember seeing that. The first thing that I was pissed about was the fact that he didn't kill himself. Because I love Finn's character, and I was like, this is going to be such a cool hero sacrifice. And then, boom. No, it isn't. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? That doesn't make sense.
How did they not kill each other in that crash?
Yeah.
Right? If she's going that fast and that hard to hit him and break down his fucking vehicle, there should have been like this massive explosion. I'm just like, oh.
And it's just that weird like kiss at the end. Like, like,
protect all as you want, stupid. It's like,
war isn't about killing the ones you hate, but protecting the ones you love. It's like,
no ones you hate.
Well, there's a lot of wars where that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Anywho, Solo, I'm excited for. How about
still
you?
Excited. I'm still not 100% into it, man.
I'm gonna go see it, and I think it's gonna be fun because it's gonna be more Star Wars, and it's gonna have actors I like in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good going for it. It's just, I don't know. The trailer didn't catch me.
The thing is, this is the one time I'm not going into this with high expectations, which has been my problem with any of the other Star Wars movies, was that you just think too much about how good it's going to be, and then it isn't.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go into this one knowing it's not going to be that good. I don't care. Like I'll like it.
I'm going in disappointed.
Well, that's the way to go, dude.
Yeah.
The times I've most enjoyed movies is when people shit on it before I see it, and then I see it and I'm like, wow, this is way better than you said. Compared to, I mean, I liked Black Panther, but everyone praised it as, you know, the best movie of all time. And then I went and saw it, and I was like, well, it's good, definitely, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not the giant, most beautiful.
Yeah, it's not like a masterpiece by any means.
It is the perfect formulaic Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I love what it stands for. I think it stands for so much in terms of like giving black youths a person to look up to, because they really didn't have that with a lot of the other Marvel characters. I guess like out of the prominent Marvel characters that were African American.
Yeah.
And like the original ones, you had Falcon and War Machine, both the white guys' sidekicks, and then like they bring in this awesome Solo. What are you guys doing right now?
I know, they're like doing this really creepy slow zoom to your face.
Anywho, but I like Black Panther. It was a good movie. I saw it twice, and I honestly on the second watch I knew what it was going to be, and I had more fun and I enjoyed it. But it's like it's not the best thing ever.
It's still the same issue that I've had it before, which was too much CGI.
Yeah,
I'm having an issue with that. It's become very saturated, and I was not a fan of the CGI Black Panther fights at the end.
Yeah,
like it was just it looked too bad,
and it was two clay figures with, you know,
very janky movement.
One with silver outlines, one with gold ones.
Yeah, you got a purple dude and a gold dude. Who's gonna fight? Who's gonna win? It's like, if you wouldn't have made him gold, I never would have known the difference.
I did. I loved the idea of it, like the on the trains and between fights they'd stop, and I thought that was cool. It was just the actual execution of when they were fighting was just and the fighting, how it was choreographed even with the CGI, just wasn't that good.
Yeah. There's this. So I watched the Film House podcast that just came out today, or I think it came out
Was it
today
on
or
Black
today.
Panther or was it?
They talked about that and a couple of other things. And one of the things that James, I think it was, or maybe it was Adam, who mentioned who thought it would be a good idea, and I agree with it, would have been if Killmonger, instead of just getting a Black Panther suit, if he would have just gone talk to the gorilla people and convinced them to give him like their armor, because then you would have like a gorilla suit dude fight the Panther suit dude, which I think could have been pretty fucking sweet.
I mean, it also fit because Chad Boseman or Black Panther, he's more like slim in terms of like, but Michael B. Jordan came in and he was
Fucking
big.
ripped, dude. Jesus
he
Christ.
was. I mean, the gorilla guy was bigger because he was taller and wider, but Michael B. Jordan was jacked, and like to give him like cool gorilla armor would be sweet.
Yeah. And like change his fighting tactics so it would literally look like a gorilla fighting a panther.
It was more force based than.
Yeah.
But it's like, they had to. Marvel doesn't realize that to make things even, they don't have to be the same.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be just a color swap.
Yeah, so they're like, well, we got to make the fight even, so we'll just give them both Black Panther suits. It's like, well, there's other ways to do that. I mean, that's Spider-Man. One of my favorite characters for villains, even like Batman, is because there is Spider-Man copy paste for the villains. Yeah. But out of like the notable ones, not really. Venom is the most, but he is entirely less smart and more strength and
savage.
You got like Doc Ock, who's got like the tentacles, Sandman, all of these super unique fighting styles, and they're equal and they're on the equal grounds of Spider-Man, and it makes it awesome. Same with Batman. Batman literally fights I'm trying to think like he fights like ninjas and stuff, like Ra's al Ghul. He's fought Bane, who
Deathstroke,
exactly. He fights, not only does he fight assassins that maybe are on par with him but are different, but he fights supernatural things that he is up against because he's Batman.
He fights a goddamn giant killer croc.
And like Marvel's comics are great for, like Iron Man's main villain in Marvel Comics is it's pretty racist because it's a super stereotypical Asian guy named the Mandarin, but he also is a person with magic who can turn into a dragon. Yeah, and that's cool. But when it came to like the Iron Man movies, the first one he fought a bigger version of himself. The second one he fought Mickey Rooney with whips,
which is still.
But he also fought droids that were just himself, and then the third one, he fought droids for a while, and then there was like that weird.
Then there's those fucking fire people.
Things that.
Ooh, I like your fire people.
Well, yeah, because they're like, their arms turn to fire.
And then Gwyneth Paltrow was in it.
Yep.
I wanted to throw up.
I don't know. Marvel's got to do better for their villains, I think. I loved the person behind Killmonger. Hated the villain in terms of, and I loved Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis
I told you he was such a good villain, and then 15 minutes of the movie, bang.
He didn't. I would have been okay with he gets he shoots the dude, he scares off Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis gets away. Killmonger says fuck it, I'm just gonna go to Wakanda. Yeah. And then Andy Serkis shows up and like just starts because like it's the way he basically was a settler, if that makes sense. He went to this one place, stole their resources, and then went back and called them all savages.
Yeah, like the clear racist undertones. Yeah, could have been so much better because then at the end there could have been this like redeeming thing with Killmonger. Be like, you know what, motherfucker? Like you say savage one more time. Yeah, you know what I mean? It could have been this awesome redemption thing for Killmonger.
It literally could have been like Andy Serkis's people taking over Wakanda and stuff like that. Yeah. And then literally Killmonger pulls a knife, stabs him. He's like, don't talk about my homeland like that. And everyone's like, what?
Yeah, like it could have been so good. Yeah, so good.
But I don't know. For me, it was cool. It had awesome music. But story-wise, it was
a little lackluster.
Yeah, I think I really liked I did like all of the characters in terms of how they're portrayed. Yes. I think Black Panther was great. Chadwick Boseman did a great job.
Michonne was great.
I liked Killmonger. I liked the way he acted and stuff like that. Yeah. Again, I think Andy Serkis would have been better in that role. But Andy Serkis, again, fantastic role. Fantastic
job.
So
psychotic.
Yeah.
It's like a sound cloud. Do you want my sound cloud?
Yeah, and he pulls like the vibranium out of his crotch and just slaps it on the thing. It says, be cautious, and he like dunks it on like the thingy. It just spoke to his character so well, and I loved it. Yeah. But I don't know. I liked Thor Ragnarok better because Thor Ragnarok had such a cool. It was really nice visually, really colorful, and like the soundtrack was awesome, and it was less about an overarching villain. More, oh no, it had a It had Helena, but it was more about him getting out of that one place, and then as soon as he did, he kind of fought her, but he didn't really. He got Ragnarok to come. It was just cool. It was less about him trying to defeat a villain, more about him trying to save his people, and I loved that.
And like realizing like his actual place and how everything like where he needs to be. Like
it's like he's like, I'm the king now. It's like it's not about me having this fight where I kill myself. It's about me saving my people.
Yeah.
And that was cool, and I really loved that aspect of it. So I don't know. I think Ragnarok's beating Black Panther in terms of which one I like better. Mm-hmm. But Black Panther's one of the better Marvel movies I've seen.
Black Panther has probably some of the best.
It's top 5 for me.
Yeah.
But
to me, Black Panther has probably the best side characters in a lot of the Marvel movies.
The when they introduce his sister, I think the whole "what are those" joke really wasn't that.
So apparently that's a meme that I didn't know about.
Yeah, it is, but it's kind of old. But
so explain to me, is it just because he's like, "What are those"?
No, it's like you go up to people with ugly shoes and you say, "What are those?" because they don't have Jordans on or something. I don't know. It was something that got popular on Vine and then just.
And was it because of Black Panther or?
It was before. It was like years before Black
really?
Panther. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird that joke was in it. It kind of like it was again. It was one of those Disney things where you feel like it's targeted at like old people.
Yeah.
Or
it's old people being like, what do kids like? They like Vines. And then the youngest person's like, hasn't that been like shut for 2 years now?
Yeah, the kids don't like it, but the old ladies are like, that's like I told you about when we saw Star Wars, how any single time those porgs came on, the old ladies were just dying.
And like, oh, they're so cool.
Yeah, it made me laugh how they were reacting to it.
Because
like,
it's exactly what Disney
yeah,
wanted.
I'm like, they're hitting their audience so hard right now. But yeah, I liked the side characters were really good. Again, Andy Serkis, I wish had a bigger role for the villains and stuff. I think one of my favorite performances is Martin Freeman, because he was like they put him in like an African society as like the only white dude, and he was like this outcast, and he would try to talk to people and get shut down and stuff. And it was just kind of funny to see.
Well, it's kind of gives you like, so I don't know if this is what they were going for with Ryan Coogler, but it was like it gives you this idea of like, well, this is what happens when a black male deals within that white society.
Mm-hmm. And well, even Martin Freeman said on set, he said when he was working and stuff, it was him surrounded by like an entirely African American cast.
Yeah.
And he said this is what African Americans must feel like all the time, because he's like he's one of the 2 white guys that are prominent in the
literally
shooting.
Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman are the only.
By the way, best joke ever is the fact that they're in that and they're also in like Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they're
makes
just
them the Tolkien white guys. That's my favorite joke to ever come out of Black Panther.
Oh fuck, that's amazing.
But yeah, I think it was cool how they did that dynamic.
Yeah.
Like even the one where he's trying to talk to the one gorilla guy and he's like, "I'll feed you to my children."
He's like, "Don't worry, we're vegans,
we're vegetarian." Yeah. But like how visibly shook he is, and he's just like, "I'm just fucking with you."
You speak out of turn one more time, and I'll feed you to my children.
It was just, I loved that aspect of it. It was good. I don't know. I probably put it 3. I think it goes Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Black Panther, and then maybe Iron Man or Civil War. The Avengers movies honestly aren't even some of my favorite.
Avengers 1 was good. I enjoyed it.
Have you watched it recently?
I haven't watched it in a while.
When you kind of are over the Avengers impact of all the Avengers are together, it's not even one of the better ones, I think.
It's just an okay film.
Yeah, it's a Marvel movie, and it's cool to see them all fighting, but once you've seen them all fighting later in better ones,
like in Civil War, and you're like, wow, that's what should be happening right now.
Exactly. So
okay,
I think Civil War is better than Avengers.
I can guarantee you it is. It's the best Avengers, even though it's not an Avengers movie, to have come out as of late.
Oh, and I loved Black Panther in that one too. Like just how like he did not give a shit about it. He was just trying to kill Bucky.
Yeah,
it was just awesome.
It's like, hey, I'm Hawkeye. I don't care.
He's like, name's Clint.
Yeah.
I don't care. They're just fighting. It was just so cool. I remember I told everyone loved Spider-Man in that. I'm like, how can you even? Like, Black Panther was way cooler in that movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Spider-Man's got that awesome fucking moment where he's like, poof, wow, is that a bionic arm? That's awesome.
He was really funny, and I loved what he brought to the movie. It's just, I love that in this movie where everybody, even though they're fighting, they're still kind of witty. They're doing their Marvel thing. There's this one character that's just like, I'm here to kill Bucky. I don't care about anything else. Yeah. I'm not here to make jokes. And I loved that. I mean, and then in Black Panther, I was kind of sad that I knew it was going to happen, but they made it jokey still. And I was like, oh, in Civil War, he had this really cool no nonsense vibe.
Very stoic, right? Like very like just like I'm no nonsense. We're getting shit done.
Yeah, and when it came to Black Panther, it's like, well, we're still gonna be Marvel, so we're gonna have jokes and stuff, and it's gonna be funny.
Yeah, it's sometimes like I know that's where they're really going towards. Like they went like obviously Joss Whedon stuff was a little bit more lighthearted. A lot of the Joss stuff.
Well, Joss Whedon's he's like. Lighthearted and epic was what he was going for.
Yeah.
He was like, I want to tell a cool story that's not going to impact anybody seriously.
And then you have shit like The Winter Soldier, which is a lot more serious.
Yeah, I loved Winter Soldier, though. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Winter Soldier's maybe 2.
Yeah?
I might go Ragnarok, Winter Soldier, Guardians. Or no, Black Panther, Guardians, and Civil War.
Yeah, so it's one of those moments where it's like,
I don't know.
There's an inner conflict.
It's Guardians, Black Panther are the two that are.
Like,
Winter Soldier, Ragnarok, by far my 2 favorite. But then they're just both really good for their own reasons. Guardians of the Galaxy is just complete nonsense, and Black Panther is just, Black Panther is just this awesome story. I think it was just a cool journey to watch. That's why. But Guardians of the Galaxy was more about these characters meeting, and it's really lighthearted, and people don't care.
Well, that's the other thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. The first one was just, it was not a Marvel movie. It was a James Gunn film. Yeah, you know what I mean. It was just a great ensemble. Fucking cast of people are just like, oh yeah, and we're in outer space. Yeah, and we just so happen to be in a Marvel movie. That's what it was. It was great.
Well, Marvel movies always follow this weird thing of doing. We're gonna take a type of movie and we're gonna put it in Marvel. So, Winter Soldier was
a spy thriller.
It was a spy thriller in the Marvel universe. Ragnarok was kind of like a goofy 70s action that they brought alive with like the characters and stuff. Yeah. Guardians again was a ensemble. I forget which one it was. Guardians might be like more kind of like a heist movie too.
Yeah, I could see that.
There's Ant-Man. Ant-Man is
pure heist.
Super a heist movie that they just bring in the characters. I didn't really like Ant-Man though, I'll be honest.
I know you've mentioned multiple times you're not the biggest fan of Ant-Man.
And I would have liked it a lot more if they let Edgar Wright direct it, but I understand why they wouldn't, because it would be less Marvel, more Edgar Wright.
It would have been Baby Driver. It's exactly what it would have been. I bet you that's what happened.
We cast Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. He's like, no, Ansel Elgort's doing it. What?
They're like, isn't he 12 right now?
Why is he driving? He's Ant-Man.
Does his car shrink? No.
This is Ant-Man. Yeah. The movie's entirely just Baby Driver.
That's the name of his car. It's Ant-Man.
No, it's like
because it's a Volkswagen Beetle. Get it?
It's like Citizen Kane with like the rosebud. But it's like Ant-Man's so little in the thing. It's like his keys or something, but you're not sure.
Yeah, they're just like little like
don't touch my Ant-Man fight. It's like what?
Yeah, literally, it's just the action figurine of Ant-Man that's like on the keychain.
Holy shit!
All right, one of the things I wanted to talk about too. It's Dan Harmon related. There's a couple things. One of them being I recently just watched all of Community.
Yep. I
binged watched seasons 1 to 6 of Community, and I remember you telling me before. And like,
you watched 5 and 6 too?
I watched all of it. I finished the entire series.
With how I ranked it? I think
you said 6 was at the bottom, right?
Yes.
I don't agree with that.
Really?
I think 6 was there's a couple like throwaway episodes which was whatever. It was very like shallow, like when Jeff had. Well, I love the episode where Jeff has like this hallucination of G.I. Joe, but it actually is.
That was 5.
Was that 5? Are you sure?
Yeah, 5. I go. So my rankings are 1, 2, 3 right off the bat. Those I think first. I don't think they get worse. I just think they're really on par.
Yeah.
And then
4 fucking plummets, man.
I think 5 was a good comeback to it. 4 plummets, or actually, I might put 6 ahead of 4.
4 because
I probably
had nothing to do with Dan Harmon. Like it just they tried so hard to be Dan Harmon and it didn't work.
4 was just kind of sad and unfunny.
Yeah.
And 5 was kind of sad too, but it was funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I agree with that setup. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, and then 4, whatever.
Yeah. It's my problem with 6 is that it just at 6 it lost its spark. It was still Community, but it was more like at that point somebody else took the show and then did it themselves, and that was really obvious to me.
Well, so one of the things I liked that they did for 5 and 6 is the actual rotation of the old grumpy man.
Yep.
So like I love the fact they had the guy from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
You had him as the law.
The law teacher.
Yeah.
Ex cop.
Cop,
too.
yeah. Who had like who's in the war and stuff and all that kind of shit. So I loved him, and I liked Keith David as like the techie nerd.
Keith David was my favorite person to come on the show. So, it was really sad. Troy and Abed's relationship was one of the best parts of that show for me.
And I liked the ending to that relationship. I thought it was very well done.
And it was sad, obviously, when Troy left, but I liked that right off the bat. They didn't just, hey, let's bring in another black guy. I like that. In time, they brought in Keith David, who kind of was the old guy and the black guy, and it was just really nice, and he was a fun character because he was different. I wasn't the biggest fan of that one girl.
Frankie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones who's like, we're gonna make sure that community college, Greendale's gonna be a great college, or we're gonna fix it.
Yeah.
That was her whole spiel.
And then, I understood the character, but I was just like, I don't know. And there's things I didn't feel like she was the most necessary character, and I thought she brought a weird energy to everything.
I appreciate the fact that it wasn't another love interest for Jeff. I appreciated that.
I was
nice.
surprised when they didn't go there, but I was like, oh, that's kind of nice.
Jeff was just like, I like Frankie. She's a good girl. Like she's like, we need to help. Like she's a friend, and just kept it as that. Not this weird love triangle between Britta.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Annie and Jeff. Like, thank Christ they didn't add Frankie into the mix.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was always I did like how they originally wrote it as Jeff was just like, he came into the group just to hit on Britta, and they actually developed all this stuff actually happened, and then like the weird Annie thing happened, and then from there it was like it wasn't really a love triangle, but it kind of was.
Well, Annie kept on clinging on, right?
Yeah, and Jeff and Britta were just like sleeping in secret basically, but it was like they handled it really well, and then in the 4th season again, it's like nothing. They rather I don't think they touched it in that one, or if they did, it was like it was just I don't know.
There's a joke.
I didn't like how they handled anything.
There was a joke. I can't remember if it was in season 5 or 6, where they make reference to season 4.
Oh, how there was they had the gas leak year.
Yeah, and they're just like, no one wants to remember that. And just like, literally, like, I think maybe it was Abed, but someone literally like looks at the camera and be like, fuck that season. I'm like, holy shit.
The one thing they do is that it basically went 1, 2, 3, 4. For a year it was off because it got dropped.
Yeah.
It got picked up for 5 and then 6.
Yeah.
So in season 5 they make a lot of jokes about the gas leak year, basically that year between where nothing happened. They're like, well, nobody could go to school because of the big gas leak.
Yeah.
And there was I forget what. Oh, it was the end of season 5. There's the one part at the very end where they're like, yeah, well, we'll be back next year. And if not, a giant asteroid hit the Earth and killed everyone. And he's like, that makes sense, Abed. And then they both kind of just like are sitting there.
Yeah.
I loved how they handled that. That's such a community way. But what did you want to say specifically? Just want to talk about?
I just wanted to talk about that. And then there's another thing I want to mention after. But finally, at the end of season 6, they get the dean of all people, like while they're sitting on the bar, like, Abed, you're pretty fucking weird. And like they just drop the F-bomb out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh yeah, this was a fucking Yahoo show.
Yeah. You learn that basically with the flexibility of it. In the last episode, I think there's about 5 or so. Every character.
Two characters.
It's only just Britta.
It's Britta and the dean.
Yeah. But basically, it's like they say like you can curse twice or so. Like, we don't care. And then just like I love it. Pretty fucking weird.
Yeah.
I love how they wrap that up though.
Yeah, and I like at the end because it's Dan Harmon doing the narration for the community board game.
Yeah.
And like I love the ending because it's like the kid pulls a card. Actually, Dad, you don't win because this is all a commercial. And Dad, like this is not real. And the dad's just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And the kid's like, I won. They're like, don't you realize, Timmy? It doesn't matter. You're not really my son. Dad like just like has a mental breakdown. And he cut back, and it's Dan Harmon having like a 1.5 minute VO of him just being like existential, blah blah blah. My character, da da da. Maybe cancel. Come back for a season. Da da da. And this like rips apart the network that he was on.
Yep.
Oh my God, it was so fucking brutal.
Yep.
I sat there and I'm like, oh my God, this is. And then the fact that they had Justin Roiland, I think, do a VO for something. In one of the seasons, he came in and did like a cartoon, I think.
Yeah, segment. I think so too. I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, oh my God, like watching this, I'm like, clearly I can see how this became Rick and Morty. Like, this is where Dan Harmon was leading himself to.
Let's see. He is. Hey, it's me, Ice Cube Head.
Yes, that's what it was.
But I'm trying to figure out where that actually is.
It's just like it's like oh my god, there it is.
There.
Like, yeah, it's me, Ice Cube Head. We're gonna listen to this real quick.
Oh wait.
Yes, that's
Oh shit, I got ours. So.
yeah. So it doesn't matter. But anyways, it was like this. It's this amazing fucking little mini segment.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna get Ice Cube Head working.
All right.
Notes and business as it pertains to the files. How you guys doing? Good. How you doing, girl?
I'm cool. It's all good.
Anna, you're looking fine.
Thank you.
Hey, what about me? Hey, everybody, look at me. I'm Ice Cube Head.
just fucking classic.
I'm Ice Cube Head. Look at me. That's it, dude. I feel like Ice Cube Head turned into Mr. Meeseeks. Like,
It probably did. It
like,
probably would.
through
It
the-
made perfect sense.
but like even the voice, holy shit.
Yeah. So
I need to watch season 6 again.
you'll be surprised. You'll be pleasantly
It's-
surprised.
I would. It's probably one of the worst ones, but still like
A
on
good.
par.
Yeah.
I feel.
Why did they love?
Why? I don't know. But
Like I hope this becomes one of those shots that I can pull from for the thumbnail. So I'm just gonna have god damn it, that's my face.
But Community, I feel like every season's a good one to watch,
Yeah.
except for 4. 4 is just kind of sad.
Yeah, well, because again, Dan Harmon left, or they let go of Dan Harmon,
Yeah.
and the show fell apart, man. There was no more structure. I found, like, clearly they didn't have the same vision that Dan Harmon had,
It just wasn't as funny.
which
Anyway,
is also connects to Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty dropped Dan Harmon.
Dan Harmon,
a fucking SpongeBob.
Dan Harmon may have dropped Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Dan Harmon talks about how he doesn't like it.
Yeah, he hates where it's going with the fans. This this fucking not even micro, massive aggression that's happening. That's been taking place with his fans. Where they're like, stop being an alcoholic, get off your ass, and write the season 4 for fucking da-da-da-da. And Dan Harmon's like, no.
He's like, I don't gotta do shit for you kids. Like,
Yeah.
you're all 12 years old. I mean, as a Rick and Morty fan, I watched all 3 seasons.
Yep. All 13 episodes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they came out, and I loved them. I loved how the story went. It was fucking vapidly clever.
Yep.
But I hate everything about that show. I love the show, but I hate everything else.
The outcome of the show,
The
of what it's
fans,
produced.
merchandise and stuff like that, how people react, how it's created this weird culture of like narcissism being good.
Yeah.
Like it's people are they're holding like Rick into such high esteem as like this awesome cool character. He's so smart. He does what he wants. That's not the point of the show. The point is he's so smart and he's an asshole. Like he treats everybody around him like absolute trash because of how smart he is. And it's a commentary on intelligence as a whole, as intelligence breeds narcissism and it breeds confidence, and it's like it makes people into shitty people. And everyone took it as, well, that means that being smart is good because you're better than everyone. No, it's like, no, the point is when you become this smart, you start to lose track of emotions and how to relate to people.
Yeah.
And this is what Rick's character is, and he slowly is being more emotional the more he actually connects with Morty.
That's why he has such an impact at the end of season 3, where like his daughter is just totally dismissing him at that point. Where now you could like obviously with an animation, but you see on his face where it's just like, oh my god, like they don't care about me anymore. They don't care about my opinion, and everything that's happened. Like so, you see this look of disbelief on his face, pretty much, or of being upset, and it's like this is where he's leading down. So like, see, if season 4 does get made, it's gonna start with Rick probably having that issue of still being like that narcissistic prick, but then more and more as it evolves, trying to cling on to his family now, realizing that's what matters.
It's everyone watches it for the content of it. Doesn't look at the sub. It's the subtext of the show. The emotion behind it is so. It's a really good critique, and I think it's a nice commentary on what society kind of is, and even on what scientists are like. And it also talks about relationships and stuff like that, and it does it really well. But everyone looks past that to look at the jokes.
Yeah.
And it's like the jokes are stupid. And the Pickle Rick isn't funny. And that's what makes it funny, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like the thing about it was funny was the whole idea of him turning himself to a pickle was the fact that he was doing it to get out of
Like family therapy.
Yeah, family therapy, and it's like speaking to him, he doesn't believe in family therapy. He thinks therapy's dumb and stuff like this. So he believes that this stuff is so stupid that he's gonna turn himself to a pickle because he's like, I can do it for science, and it's him yelling, "I'm Pickle Rick" is dumb.
Yeah.
And people thought, oh my God, he's a pickle. This is the funniest thing ever. It's like, that's not the point. I don't know.
Yeah. I really believe those people who started like on Reddit and Facebook groups where it's like, 200 IQ, like you need to be this smart to be as smart as Rick.
That one thing that's like, I watch Rick and Morty because I am much smarter than the average individual, and I'm blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah.
I honestly believe the first person who started that meant it to be super ironic, like the show,
And then
and it just fucking, the internet took it and just went the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things that got really popular, and then people started being really weird about it. Where people, like, you wouldn't watch the show, you just knew about it. So you'd dress up like the characters, you'd make jokes, you'd do your own thing, and it's like, I don't know. I like How I Met Your Mother. I'm not gonna fucking dress up like Ted and shoot a video saying, "Oh, look at me, I'm Ted," and make a joke.
Or become Barney, try to sleep with every woman possible, because that's what Barney does. Barney's cool.
It's again, it's like that's not the point. Look at his.
And like again, the redemption story for Barney in the not great series finale is he has a kid from a stripper.
He actually raises it.
Yeah, and he's like, "You are the most important thing in my life." About like,
it's genuinely a nice moment.
Yeah.
And there's that one part at the very end where the girls come over and hang out at him, and he's like, "Who's your dad?" or something like that, and they're like, "Oh," what? He said, "No." He's like, "Cause he should be telling you to put some more clothes on."
like the like quick turnaround, right? Because like that's the Barney character, but like yeah, like that's his redemption story. Like, don't these motherfuckers realize that in some way Justin Roiland's probably gonna do that? Where he's gonna take the Rick character and
even Barney's character, as much as he is the narcissist with a lot of psychological problems, he always had that idea of empathy where even it would come in every once in a while where his most important thing was his friends still, and he would take care of him and stuff.
And even Rick does that.
But the thing is, Dan Harmon writes Rick's character to do that little as possible.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna do what nobody wants and make this character just an asshole when he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And people take that as like he's cool instead of he's a shit. I don't know. It's mistaking assholeness as cool is bad, and that's not what Dan Harmon or Justin Roiland were going for.
Yeah.
But that's how a lot of people took it. At least I think. I mean, again, it's all opinion based, so I don't know what they're thinking.
Who knows right and who knows wrong?
Yeah, exactly. So that's my opinion on Rick and Morty's fan base, at least. I think the show's really funny and well written, but I think it's so written so well that people tend to not realize what it is about and just see what is being said.
Yeah, without actually realizing, even though they don't think they're taking it for face value, but that's all you're doing is you're taking it for face value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I forgot I turned that.
I was like, God damn. It's a hell of a notification.
Okay.
Okay, let me see here. There was something else I want to talk about. There's actually quite a few things. We have a fucking shit ton of stuff that's on here. Scooby-Doo crossover. Did you see that?
I haven't seen it, but we can talk about it.
So, I haven't seen it yet either, but for people who don't know, there was a crossover that happened that I can't believe it took this long to finally happen.
Yep.
So, Scooby-Doo's been doing this crazy thing for the past years on end of doing these crossovers with any WB show or any WB product or anything else.
Like
Hanna-Barbera.
They've done about 40 with the WWE.
Yeah.
There's that old school one, the Scooby-Doo Batman.
The Brave and the Bold. They did Scooby-Doo meet Kiss, the band.
Yep.
Scooby-Doo and the Jetsons, Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones, like everything.
They had this one Scooby-Doo one where it was focused on this group of like witches that were pop stars, but in reality, the actual people were like the Spice Girls or something like that they brought on.
Like, it's insane, like all these crazy crossovers. And then there's one that's been joked about for years that where even in the Supernatural show, they reference themselves as the Scooby Gang, and they finally fucking did it.
Yep.
They finally made a Supernatural Scooby-Doo crossover.
I'm really pissed though.
Why?
It's not called Scooby Natural.
Or Super Doo?
Super Doo.
That one's even worse.
I forget what it was actually called, like the crossover. It was called like something Scooby Doo. I think so.
If it's Scooby Natural, that would be amazing.
I think it's Scooby Natural.
That would be amazing. But yeah, so like I don't know much about it, but it's one of those moments where like hearing that it was happening, I'm like,
Oh,
yes.
it is Scooby Natural. Never mind.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I'm not pissed then. I'm happy. You guys did it.
So now, is it a 40-minute?
Yeah.
Is it like as long as it should be? Like an actual Supernatural
looking
series?
at it right now.
And there's something else I got to talk about that we tried watch. So while you're doing that, so somehow I've just been watching the trailer here on the corner. Apparently they somehow found themselves in a 2D world because they were like, oh my god, look at our hands. And from I think Tyler was the one who was telling me this, or maybe was it you, Matt, who was telling me the premise of the story? Where like the characters I can't remember who it was, but someone was telling me where like Dean kept on hitting on.
Yeah, I was telling you about it.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because Dean has a crush on Daphne. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's hitting on Daphne.
And Velma was trying to get with Sam, basically.
Yeah. And then Castiel was stuck with Scooby and Shag.
Yeah, it's like, Castiel's super dry sense of humor and like he's just like him being himself, and then with fucking Scooby and there was one shot where I think it was Sam had a fucking huge sandwich and like his jaw like got big and he shoved it into, and they went super into all of the Scooby stuff. The characters looked really good too for the like for actually like Sam and Dean and Castiel too, which I really want to see it. My mom, who's a huge Supernatural fan, said it was one of her favorite episodes.
Oh,
of all
really?
time. Yeah.
Of all time, Jesus Christ.
She said it's so goofy and like literally it's like it tells a good story, but just is so nice and just fun to watch. And she's like, it was one of the funnier ones she's ever seen.
So I gotta say, that's one thing I realized with the Supernatural show. After season 5, so season 5 was with the original creator, which I believe is Eric Kripke.
Yeah.
He was the one who created it originally. He had a vision of Supernatural was going to end in 5 seasons, and where it was the whole thing of Sam sacrificing himself to go down back into go into the cage with Lucifer inside of him and trap himself there for all of eternity and saving the world, pretty much, of like the ultimate evil. And it was supposed to end that way, but then Supernatural was doing gangbuster numbers, like view-wise, for the CW or WB at the time. And they're like, no, we need more. Yep. So Kripke left, but they continued season 5. They're now up to season 13, I think.
Yeah, they're on 13.
The 13th, yeah.
I'm looking at all of their crossover episodes.
And it's to the point now where, like, apparently Supernatural can do no wrong, but they went for something super serious from seasons 1 to 5, pretty much. And then now from 6 to 13 have totally shifted the overall feel of the show, where, like, they can go as goofy as go into a cartoon world and join forces with fucking Scooby-Doo, or in one of the episodes they've done before, somehow find themselves in our world, an alternate reality, where they're on the set of Supernatural, where they now are being referred to by their names, Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki.
Yeah, but in the show they're Dean and Sam still.
So like they're like realizing, oh my god, there's no magic in this world, and like Misha Collin dies right away. And he's like doing like Instagram videos like on his like he doesn't have the gravelly voice anymore, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so fucking good.
I just pulled the list of the weirdest Supernatural episodes, so I want to hear your opinions on these because I haven't watched them, but you're a fan. So first one, Dog Dean Afternoon. Dean turns into a dog for the episode. Do you remember that one?
What season is that?
This is season 9 apparently.
I do not remember that one at all.
He translates dogs apparently.
Oh wait, no, he doesn't turn into a dog. He behaves like a dog.
So he knows what they like. He pretty much understands dogs.
Oh my god, so he's like the dog whisperer.
Yeah, it's like a spell that turns him into a dog basically, but he's like still a person, but he just has the mannerisms of a dog.
I can't believe I don't remember that one.
Apparently gets into a fight with a bird too.
Oh my God. This one, Huntery Heroicy or something like that. Basically, they investigate a series of bizarrely comic deaths. So, for example, crushed by an anvil.
Oh my god, is that
Someone's house bursts out of their chest and stuff because he sees a woman that's attractive.
That was a good. I remember that one. Jesus Christ.
Basically, all these deaths and stuff are all in that super cartoony way.
Yep.
They said it's super Looney Tunes inspired and stuff.
Yep.
Opinion on that episode? Good, bad?
It was good.
Good?
Yeah, it was good.
All right, let's see.
Is that the Wizard of Oz one?
I'm guessing so. It's got a yellow brick. It's called Slumber Party.
Yeah, that's where
Dorothy is a fellow hunter.
Yep.
What?
Yep. And she's a lesbian. if I'm not mistaken.
That's weird.
Because
but
Felicia Day's character is a lesbian, so like they fall in love. I think.
Charlie stabs the witch to death with a pointed heel from the ruby slippers.
That one's okay, not the greatest, but that one was not bad. Ugh, is that the Paris Hilton one?
For Fallen Idols, Man Crash. Okay, let's see. Investigate a string of odd mirrors. This time they seem to be connected with legends of the past. For instance, a man crashes into a windshield of James Dean's car. Another is murdered by someone resembling Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. And there's even a Paris Hilton one where it's like
someone's kidnapped by Paris Hilton.
Yeah, that one wasn't. That one's okay. Well, it's not the best. Just because she's in it too.
Monsters at the end of the book. This episode chasing. So that they discover a book titled Supernatural based on all of their lives.
Yeah, which is then find out that it's a scribe who's writing down their adventures, not realizing that these characters, Sam and Dean, are real. But then you find out that the scribe of God is actually God himself.
What the fuck?
But you don't find that out like until years later.
All right, it's called this one, season 5, episode 8, called Changing Channels.
Yes, that one's amazing. That's with
Trickster sends Sam and Dean into a TV world.
Did you almost say semen?
I was gonna say seam.
Okay, you just merge the names together.
They find themselves on different TV shows like sitcoms, CSI styles, a genital herpes ad, and a brilliant Grey's Anatomy spoof.
Yep. So pretty much, and then they think it's just this like they think it's like a comical. I think it's like apparition or demon who thinks is doing this.
Yeah.
And then
it's this guy named the Trickster.
Yeah. And then you actually find out that he's an archangel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He was trying to make them realize. No, I got to finish. Sorry. He's trying to make them realize that no matter what they do, they have to play their roles. This is season 5, right?
Yep.
So this is them. He's trying to make them realize, like, no matter what, Sam has to say yes to the devil. Sam has to get taken over by it. Like, there's no other way around this. This has to happen. And you have to play your roles.
So the way they're able to beat it is Sam is forced to act like Kit out of Knight Rider.
Yep.
Oh, man. And then this person said we're surprised there wasn't a Supernatural spoof within Supernatural.
I mean, that would be very meta, Jesus Christ.
And then here's Buffett. Oh, wait, we're coming up to that in a bit.
Is that the musical?
Let's see. Oh my God!
Oh no! It's the Supernatural Con. Yes, oh, it's so good. And then the two guys who were playing Sam and Dean at the end ended up being like lovers.
Yeah. So okay, this one's called "The Real Ghostbusters." In the episode of basically continuing on the theme of fan service, Sam and Dean find themselves attending a Supernatural fan convention.
Yep.
Here they meet loads of people who adore the Winchesters. There's cosplays of them, and there's even a scripted show, or basically. After a fan is seriously injured, they just start unraveling what is happening and stuff. Let's see. It doesn't say anything about the love triangle. Then the number one is called The French Mistake.
Is that them going into the real world? That has
Yep.
to be it.
Yep. Basically, them goes to the real world with
an archangel.
Yep. They meet Castiel, who is actually Misha Collins. Sam is married to Genevieve Paladecki.
Yeah. Because they think
it's the actual wife, but it's the character.
Yeah, because they think it's Ruby, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, Ruby. And she goes like makes out with Sam and shit. Yeah.
That is so funny. This show is so weird.
Not fucking many shows can be that stupid and get away with it. It's great. And like Jensen Ankle and Jared Paladecki.
Paladecki? I think it's
Paladecki.
Paladecki,
yeah. I had to take a moment. Or just they play that they've done it so long that they can go into these strange worlds, and it's just,
it's
beautiful.
Exactly.
Do you have a show like that where like no matter what you feel like they can't do any wrong?
Yeah. It's not airing anymore.
What was it?
The Office. I can watch any episode of The Office and find something funny, and I don't think there's. Like, again, another show like How I Met Your Mother, there's a lot of episodes I think have flaws and stuff. I think the last season isn't that good. But
I just don't like the last episode.
Yeah, even the last 2 seasons of The Office when Michael Scott leaves are funny. And I don't think there's a lot wrong with it personally to me. I don't know if it would be like it's still at the end of its run, it got worse. Not bad, it just got a little bit worse than it was because Michael Scott or Steve Carell left. Because he was doing stuff. He left in a really good way. It was one of the best ways I've actually seen a character leave a TV show. But again, it was like you're losing one of the core parts of the comedy from the show.
Yeah. So
I don't think I have a show that's like consistently just hits every single episode at the same. I mean, of course, Supernatural's not going to be the best. It's not going to be.
It's not going to have
every single time. But I feel like you can pick out any episode, watch it, and it's gonna be great.
And there's even episodes where, like, again, because it's a 24, 25, like, overarching story, you can grab filler episodes and just be like, if someone's never watched Supernatural, like, watch this episode. You're not gonna get spoiled. You'll get a feel of what it is and enjoy.
So one show I think that is maybe not the exact same, but I think is consistent is New Girl, which I've talked to you about because I absolutely love it.
Yep.
Another one is a show called Happy Endings that had 3 seasons and got canceled, and it sucks because it was funny as hell.
That's not like a massage parlor.
I know it's a weird title. I never understood it, but watching the show, it is just so funny, and all of the characters, the way they act, their dynamics and stuff is so fleshed out, and it's just written so well. And one of my favorite characters is this guy. He's a gay guy, but his character is literally just a chubby dude who loves eating and stuff. Doesn't have anything flamboyant about him. Doesn't play up anything of his gay. The only thing gay about him is literally the fact that he's gay. Okay. That's it. It's not like he acts in any stereotypical gay ways,
which is awesome.
And I love the way they wrote it. Yeah. They wrote it in that way
because it's realistic.
Awesome.
Not every gay person or gay woman's like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not none of that. Sometimes they're just like, yeah, dude, I love playing video games and sucking dick. Who cares? Like, it's just some people are just like that.
And one of my favorite episodes of New Girl, there's one where Jess tells, because her and Jess have like this thing for a bit, and then one of Jess's boyfriends is coming over, but like that was in the past, like her and Nick. Yeah. So she tells Nick, like, I told him you were gay, so that so she's like, just act gay. Oh my god. And then she came in and Nick was just being himself. He wasn't doing anything. And she's like, can you act more gay? He's like, well, personally, I don't think we need to put a type. And like his character's just being so like weirdly like woke and like nice about it and stuff. And like she tells him to be more gay, and he literally doesn't change anything, and then just goes like, well, I like to have sex with men. That's it. That's me. And he just like he says that. And the guy's like, he doesn't seem like he's gay. And then he hears that, and he's like, not everybody lives by your guy's stereotypes. It's just so funny that they wrote the character just to be such a, like, it's just, write the character just be gay, and he doesn't change anything. Yeah. It's fucking smart. He's one of my favorite characters ever. Written so well. He's really goofy and dumb. Yeah. But they just write him so well.
And that's the dude who was in Jurassic World.
Yep. Okay. He's a good actor. He's in a lot of stuff now.
Very good actor.
I really want to see that new movie he's coming out in.
Was that
Tag?
Oh, yeah. So I saw that, and I remember seeing the trailer for it. I'm like, that is surprisingly like a fun fucking movie I'd like to watch.
Well, the goddamn cast. They got Jeremy Renner, Isla. I don't know how to say her name.
Isla Fisher.
Isla Fisher. Yeah. John Hamm, Ed Helms, who is. He's hit or miss for me.
Yeah, he tends to play the same guy over and over and over again.
Yep, they got the Jake Johnson. That's the guy. That's Nick. Rashida Jones, Hannibal Buress.
So Hannibal Buress actually looks like he gives a damn in this movie. So if you watch him in Baywatch, his acting is so still because you can tell he's like, this is a paycheck.
But that's his comedic sense. He just gets on stage and he just doesn't have emotion. He's like, man, I just talk about stuff that's dumb. Yeah. Like, that's just what he is, and that's what he was like in Baywatch. But in this one, there's like that one line where you just send over like the two things. He's like, boobs, it's a butt. He's like, it's balls. He's like, no, it's ice cream. And they're like, what? He's like, God damn it, he knows I'm lactose intolerant. It's just, it looks so dumb, and it looks like it's going to be dumb and funny. Yeah. Because anytime I've seen John Hamm in a comedy,
Bridesmaids,
he absolutely kills it.
Bridesmaids,
yeah, exactly. Bridesmaids, he's so funny in that because they take him being
the suave,
and they just make him a little more awkward and weird, and it's just funny.
And then the fact that you have Jeremy Renner, but Jeremy Renner's like this fucking like he continues like this badass, like you can't touch me.
He is basically being like, it's like they take his character from like Born whatever.
Yeah, the Born Supremacy.
Yeah, they take that
or Born Ultimatum.
Throw him in a goofy movie about playing tag, and it's just funny because
Born Legacy. It's the Born Legacy.
It is
there,
but everyone else is just trying to play tag normally, and he's like doing kung fu. Yeah. He's never been tagged before.
Yeah, just fucking smoothly moving around and shit.
Yeah, I just love it. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely gonna see it in theaters.
It's one of those like, I'm like, wow, like such a stupid idea, but it looks like it's gonna be played out so well. And I've already heard, I think it played at, not at Sunfest, I think it played at South by Southwest. And I've heard the people who went to go see that they tend to be film snobs, and they're like, this is actually a really good movie. It's surprisingly emotional.
It's which I'm again excited for. Okay. One thing, if I'm asking if you're going to see it.
What's up?
A Quiet Place.
Yes, I want to see it.
Interested?
Yeah, very much so.
I really want to see it, but I'm scared to see it because I honestly think it's gonna freak me the hell out.
Yeah, you're not the biggest horror movie fan, eh?
No, and I love John Krasinski because I think he's a great actor. I love him from The Office, obviously, but he's started acting in other stuff, and he's he's a good actor.
He's in the Amazon Prime series, the Jack Ryan.
Yep, he's in the Jack Ryan series, and I was excited to see it because I'm like, it's this whole thing with Jordan Peele where you bring these comedic actors that have wrote a lot for shows, and they usually direct their own stuff. It's almost always like you can see, and this has been getting like 100% and like 90s ratings and stuff like that, and that's why I'm scared to see it because people have said it's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. And Get Out I saw because Get Out was terrifying, but was like a thriller. It's just I liked to Get Out. It was shot really well and stuff. This one I know is going to scare the hell out of me. Yeah. And that's why I'm like, I don't know if I can see it yet.
Dude, I will be your +1 for that.
No, dude, I'm going to cry on your shoulder, dude. Which, by the way, it took a concept that I actually thought of before. Like, it's just something I've thought of, and it's something I've really wanted somebody to execute on. Yeah. And it's the idea of a silent movie. I think in total they said other than ambient sounds, there's maybe 1-2 lines of dialogue, and I'm like, that is going to be a marvel to see. Yeah. And the fact that they do that, and it's a 97%, so an entire movie that's creepy, scary enough, and the story's good enough that without dialogue it keeps you in, is going to be a marvel to see. And
I mean, plus Emily Blunt's in it, and I am a massive fucking Emily Blunt fan after I saw her in Live, Die, Repeat. Live, Die, Repeat was one of my, like, surprise hits because I didn't think it was going to be that
Live,
great.
Die, Repeat? I've never seen that.
It's also called Edge of Tomorrow. Sorry, that's the real term.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah, because she plays like the no-nonsense...
fucking badass chick.
Yep.
Like, goddamn, and she's so good at it. Believable. It's great. And someone... Woo, what's this? We got Colin, A Quiet Place, haven't been this hyped for a horror movie since Get Out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider Get Out a horror movie.
I
consider that as a psychological thriller.
I would agree with you on that. I mean, I think there's some jump scares and obviously scary parts.
But I don't know if I would consider that as a horror movie.
It's a thing that people like to do is they tend to call good horror movies thrillers. Yeah. But this, like, again, Quiet Place is called a drama thriller instead of a horror. Yeah. I genuinely think this is going to be terrifying, though.
You think this is going to be one of those, like, oh, Jesus.
Like, in the trailers and stuff, it's so gritty and dark and just creepy. And, like, there's those quick shots of the monsters. I know as soon as I see that monster for the first time, I'm going to shit my pants. There's going to be shit everywhere, and I'm going to be crying.
So I'm going to have to book a couple of seats between us is what I'm hearing?
Yes.
When is that coming out, The Quiet Place? That's got to be soon, right?
Mm-hmm. It's... when is it coming out? April 3rd. Oh, it's already out.
Oh, motherfuck.
It's been out for a while.
Oh, about a week now?
It's got how much has it made? It had a $7
tillion? Holy shit!
$17 million budget. I want to know how much.
Go to boxofficemojo.com, son.
I'm just gonna put
Mojo.
I could say it's gotta way surpass that.
You never know.
Yeah, it's already made in a week. It's
Estimate, and it's domestic $50 million.
Yep.
Jesus Christ, dude. That is a hell of a way to go.
And it's saying it's around 20 million foreign too. So with a $17 million budget, he's making about $70 million off of it.
Who's the production company on that one? Does it say? Is it Universal? Is it
Weinstein? There's something else now, right?
Someone bought it, but they're not keeping the name. Jesus.
Yeah, they're gonna change it.
If they're smart, they're not keeping the name. Does it say who?
Michael Bay produced it. Whoa.
Yeah, they're buds ever since the 13th Hour.
That was honestly a good, or maybe not. Well, I liked it.
Okay, I never watched it. But I know Chris, whatever his name is. Was it Jonathan Krasinski?
Yeah, John Krasinski. He was. I don't think he directed it.
No, he was one of the soldiers in it.
Yep. Yeah. That was surprisingly one of the better Michael Bay movies. I think as soon as you don't put Transformers in front of it, people kind of forget that it's a Michael Bay movie.
Well, so here's the thing. Michael Bay does two things a lot of: explosions, and terrible CGI. If you take out the terrible CGI, the explosions can look marvelous. Perfect example is always look at Bad Boys 2. Bad Boys 2 has so many explosions, so many crazy car chases. You're just like, this is a fun, dumb ride.
All right, so production was Platinum Dunes,
which is the Michael Bay's production company.
Yep. And Paramount distributed it.
Okay.
So it's got big names on it.
Yeah. And then what's up?
Just looking at
Why is there Dora the Explorer thing?
So Texas Chainsaw, The Hitcher, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Purge, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, obviously because it's Michael Bay, and then 2019 Dora the Explorer. Michael Bay's production company is doing Dora the Explorer.
So there's gonna be some explosions in this bitch.
Get the fuck back, Boots.
Swiper notes. Swipe it. Swipe this.
All right, so
that's terrible.
And then
Explosionless kids.
so that and their production company did the Jack Ryan thing. Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan.
Excuse me. Look, if it's anything Tom Clancy, you have. I think by contract you have to throw that in.
He looks pretty in that. That's weird. I thought he was
pretty.
I thought he'd look a lot more gritty, but he looks like a
I mean, come on, he's got a nice face.
nice
looking
looking dude. True. Let's see, making the 5th actor portray the character in the film series. Ben Affleck's been Jack Ryan.
Yeah, with the Hunt for Red October, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Chris Pine was the one I knew.
Yeah, the one that's like Jack Ryan Shadow.
Yep, I knew Harrison Ford. I knew too.
Yeah.
And then Alec Baldwin was.
Was he the Hunt for Red October?
I think he was the Hunt for Red. I don't know what. Okay, I gotta look it up. Ben Affleck's Jack Ryan. They've done. I like that they're doing it's kind of like the James Bond but different.
Just it's their response to the James Bond.
And it's like a little bit. It's like we're not gonna.
Some of all fears with Sam Jackson. Is that Sam Jackson right there?
No. Morgan Freeman.
Okay, I couldn't see from the side.
And that was 2000. Okay, let's look at the. What's his face? Alec Baldwin ones. I've never.
I think it has to be a October.
I've only watched the Chris Pine one.
Oh, the Shadow Elite, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Shadow Operative.
Yeah, Hunt for Red October is the Alec Baldwin
with Sean
one.
Connery.
With Shawnee Connery.
I think he plays a Russian like a Russian bad guy. I think in this one, it's pretty terrible.
Who, Sean Connery?
Yeah. So try to imagine Sean Connery trying to be Russian.
Harrison Ford was Patriot Games. Is Harrison Ford and Clear and Present Danger. Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit was Chris Pine.
That's what.
And then the series is Krasinski.
Yeah.
Which has been what is that? Jack Reacher is.
That's Tom Cruise. Yeah.
That's what always confused me is Jack Ryan, Jack Reacher.
Yeah. Well, what makes it worse? Not worse. Well, it's worse for fucking Tom Cruise. Is he made his sequel, right? Jack Reacher, Never Go Back or Never Look Back. Mm-hmm. And apparently that was one of the biggest and easy targets for reviewers to be like, yeah, you should never look back at this sequel, guys. Being like, apparently it is a terrible fucking movie.
Wait, which one?
Jack Reacher, Never Look Back.
Oh, yeah.
Like, apparently the first one it was actually kind of like surprisingly a fun, like, popcorn film.
Yeah.
But the second one, apparently just there was no plot or there's holes everywhere. It's like, we're wasting our time here.
That's so, I love the fact that Tom Clancy's got about 8 movies that his name's been put on, and then the television series for Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Video games, about 30 plus video games he's been on.
For Tom Cruise?
Or not Tom Cruise, Tom Clancy. Did I say Tom Cruise?
I don't know. My mind went to Tom Cruise.
Tom Clancy, about 8 movies and hundreds of video games.
All Ubisoft.
Yep. So there's Jesus Christ.
That dude.
Wait, right to there, top to there is all Rainbow Six games. So the popular ones is Siege, the newest one, Rainbow Six Vegas, if you remember that one.
Oh yeah.
Rainbow Six 3 was another popular one, Raven Shield.
Okay.
And then I think Rogue Spear was for like all the top ones, and then there's like
Advanced
Eagle Watch, Urban Operators.
Another popular one is Advanced Warfighter.
That's Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon.
Which we're going to next. So Ghost Recon, the first one, Ghost Recon 2. There's all of these. There's ones that are like interspliced before, and that are just like different settings, like Ghost Recon Desert Siege or Jungle Storm. Advanced Warfighter and Advanced Warfighter 2, which are amazing games. Future Soldier was one of the coolest ones.
Then they have like Hawks, which is like a garbage game.
Yeah.
Which was like voice command operated if you wanted.
Oh, and then, just Ghost Recon Wildlands, the newest one.
Yeah, so apparently Wildlands had like this very 180 turnaround, kind of like The Division.
It was okay at first, then it got good.
Yeah.
Same, yeah. That's the one thing. Ubisoft, as much as people hate on Ubisoft for like, if you look at any of their Tom Clancy games, they've been upkeeping those games. Division's still getting updates. Siege is like capping out still at the amount of players it's getting, and it came out 2 years ago. Hawks, they don't care about.
I mean, Jesus Christ, Hawks was like a 360 game, I think.
All right, so basically they got 3 major
Clancy games.
Yep, you got Ghost Recon 6 and Splinter Cell, and then they have End War, Hawks, Division, and Shadowbreak, which are all of the independent ones.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell. Did you ever play Splinter Cell?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Blacklist was good. Did you play Blacklist? That was the newest one.
No, I did not. That's
Blacklist
the one where they didn't get Michael Ironside to do the voice.
New, but the game was good, very good. They had a huge co-op part of it. I never played Hawks because I was like, fuck.
Voice operated commands.
Yeah. Okay, I got a question for you, just because it's coming up.
Yep.
Do you have any older, like, rather like PS2, GameCube, original Xbox, that era of
Don't want to see remade?
No, well, not even that. Like, just one that wasn't popular, but just was like your game that you loved. And it maybe wasn't the best, but it was like, holy fuck, this is fun.
So it's not. It's a Nintendo 64 game.
Okay.
Harvest Moon 64.
Okay, I know what Harvest Moon is, but
fucking to this day, I fucking love that game. I will if they would ever. Can you picture me playing this game?
This looks like
it's like a farming simulator.
I was gonna say, this looks like Minecraft.
Like this is early Minecraft, okay?
Yeah.
Basically, so what's it called? The Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
It is Stardew Valley. This is what Stardew Valley is. It is it is the successor, like the what the fuck's that term again?
Predecessor.
Predecessor, yeah. It's the predecessor to Harvest Moon 64.
Okay, I genuinely can see why you would like this game though.
It is so fun.
It looks
so simple.
It looks like there's weirdly a lot to do in it though. Is it like
you can harvest, you can grow crops, you can
They're gonna say you can harvest, you can moon.
Yeah. There's 64. But no, like you could start a family, you can expand your farm, you can do festivals, you can fall in love, you can
That's awesome.
You could fish. Dude, there's
kind of like
so
Sims.
much.
It sounds like
kind of
weird
but
Nintendo 64 Sims.
But without the idea of like your Sims can do how your Sims can do things on their own.
Yeah, it's you got to do it.
Yeah, you have to tell them what to do. You have like an exhaust meter you have to be careful of, which isn't actually a meter, which I respect. It's literally visual cues of your character. Like,
I
like he huffs and puffs and stuff, and like if he gets too tired, he'll literally collapse in the middle of the floor, and like something. Like, and then you'll get like a text be like, "Someone brought you back home. You've been asleep for 2 days. Your crops are dead."
No, my crops. Did that ever happen to you? And you're just
dude,
sitting in your room. My crops.
Oh yeah, dude. I would get so happy if I had a rainy day because I'm like, oh my god, I can go fishing all day. I could be in the mines.
The plants are gonna love this one.
Oh fuck, dude!
Okay.
It was so good. I spent hours playing, and it's not even a co-op game. And I would get a friend to come over, and we would spend all night. Him watching me because he didn't want to play. He just wanted to watch me play Harvest Moon 64.
Oh, dude, I had tons of games like that. There's plenty of. It's literally what I think about like Let's Play culture.
Yeah.
Is there's been Let's Plays forever because all the time you'd go over to your friend's house and there'd be like a couple games where it's like you wouldn't necessarily want to play, you just like to watch. Or even like me, I was a little brother, dude. My life was fucking Let's Plays. So wait, do we got a comment on?
Yeah,
here?
Colin. He's Tony Hawk's Proving Ground for the Xbox 360. Not the best Tony Hawk game. Played the fuck out of it.
I don't even know what that is. Tony
Hawk's Proving Ground.
That's a Tony Hawk's Proving Ground.
Yeah.
Proving Ground. Played that. I believe it. Any Tony Hawk's game I love.
I didn't like Tony Hawk's Underground.
You didn't like Underground?
No, I liked like the OG Tony Hawk's, like 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, when you couldn't get off your skateboard?
Yeah.
I respect that. Oh, I remember this.
This I think is like around the same time when I think they were trying to compete with Skate.
Yeah, they went for a little bit more like realism and stuff. It was just fun though. It was a lot of. I think it had pretty good customization and stuff, which has always been a part of the Tony Hawk games. Yeah. And it still had that little bit of unrealism, but I think is this the one where they added in bikes? There's one where they added in bikes.
Oh really?
Colin,
are you sure it's not BMX XX?
No. Just comment real quick. Is this the one where they added in bikes? Do you bike in this game?
Oh, by the way, is Bucky LASIK in there?
Who? I don't know who that is.
The second best skating character in any fucking Tony Hawk game.
I remember you saying something like that.
I would put Buddy Mullen up there too.
No bikes. Oh.
No,
Well, it was still fun. What fucking Tony Hawk game can you get BMXs in?
I don't think there
By the
was.
way, around the same time as that one came out was, a little bit before was Project 8. Did you ever play Project 8?
We got to speak about it because I'm not too sure.
It was. Fuck, I don't want like
So, did you write Tony Hawk BMX?
American Wasteland. That was it. Yeah, that was weird when they had BMXs. Anywho, Project 8 was again that old goofy Tony Hawk style,
Okay.
not realistic and stuff, but customization, one of the best in it, and just super fun. All of the levels really colorful. They're all stuff. There's a couple stuff. Tons of when you were at this high school, you had to dress up like the mascot and had to sticker certain spots where people were making fun of the mascot or something like that.
Okay.
Really goofy, and it was just fun and awesome levels. That's what I remember about it. Anywho.
What about Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam? Where you were on the Wii and you had to use the Wiimote.
There's that weird like pad where you had to fucking white beside it.
Did you ever see the Rooster Teeth video where it's called Bernie Eats Shit?
No. What is it?
You should go to YouTube right now
Okay.
and just write Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam, Bernie Eats Shit.
Anywho, as I'm looking that up,
Was there another game like that for you?
yes.
That like
So I wouldn't say I liked Project 8, but it wouldn't be that for me. For me, King Kong. There was a PS2 released movie, King Kong.
oh
game,
yeah, it was on the 360 too.
that was fun as hell. Like I don't know why, but it was just so fun. And like it was no HUD. It had those cinematic bars, which
Yeah.
I hate, but no HUD at all. There was pistols and stuff. You had spears. You had to solve puzzles. It was like an FPS, almost Legend of Zelda game,
Okay.
but like obviously less on the puzzles, more about the FPS. And it was just weirdly like super fun. I used to play it all the time with my brother, and like nobody else knew about it, and we were the only people that had it.
Oh really?
And everyone's like, well, and movie games are usually just trash. But this is just weirdly so fun, and it followed the story of the movie, and I have
Okay.
no idea about it.
Has there ever been, besides that one, has there ever been a movie game, a movie video game that you actually thought was interesting? It was a good game. There it is. That's Bernie Eats Shit. Hold on, everybody. We got
let's see.
Colin, I was about to legitimately mention this video. No, it's not scuba diving. Fuck off now.
Come on, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, cheer away, motherfucker. Screw you, TD. You didn't pay me. You don't get advertising. Here it is.
Joel brought Tony Hawk.
That's what it is. Tony Hawk Ride. This is fucking funny.
He just fucking hits the deck.
And him at the end is like, I think I broke my fucking arm.
He just slides forward. Just
Yeah, fucking skate goes right from behind him. Oh my god, I love it so much.
Anyway, for video games, I remember there was a couple there's like an Incredibles one that was kind of fun,
Yeah.
but it was just like a top-down brawler basically. It wasn't anything special, but
There's
I can't think of
only
anything. What do you think?
GoldenEye.
Oh well, GoldenEye, of course. I honestly, people know GoldenEye more for the game than for
Yes.
the.
Now, if you mention GoldenEye,
movie.
people remember the game way more than the fucking film. But like, yeah, in all honesty, like there hasn't been that many great
Movie video
video
Well,
games.
Yes, Star Wars. Oh my God, some of the best lightsaber fighting in
Really?
video games. Just weirdly, just awesome. Okay, fuck this. I put movie video games. Don't put Ratchet and Clank as a movie video game. It was a video game way before it was a movie. Fuck you.
But I think they did make a game to coincide with the film.
Yeah, they did.
I know,
But
I know, buddy. I know. It's not
anywho,
fair.
yeah, I remember that Revenge of the Sith was awesome. It had the story mode. Also had just like 1v1ing people with
Okay.
your Jedis and shit. You could put on cheats. There's this Mace Windu was one of the hardest bosses in this game. And I remember we used to beat him because we'd put on cheats that gave you unlimited force. And you'd be Anakin when he was evil, and you just pick him up because you can pick up people and zap them at once.
Okay.
And with unlimited force, you just pick them up, and then it moves on to the next part of the boss, and then you go, you just do that for 3 stages of a boss fight. It takes out all the fun, but you beat him.
Did you realize that cheats aren't really a thing anymore?
Yeah, and it kind of sucks. I love cheats in video game.
Something about it when I was a kid, I used to love. Even if I beat the game, I'll play it again, but I'll play with cheats.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, that cheat codes are not existent.
Well, video games are so
Competitive now.
online.
Yeah.
Like again, my two games I play the most now are Overwatch and Rainbow Six, and it makes no sense why those games would have cheats in them.
No, because especially because there's no story mode. There's nothing like that.
That being said, I like looking up modded videos of Rainbow Six because it's always. I always punch my mics on this.
3 strikes now.
But it's always not seriously like people going into games with aimbot and stuff. It's dudes that go into private games, and I saw this one where this guy took Ash's assault rifle.
Okay.
And replaced every bullet, gave him infinite ammo, replaced every bullet with the breaching rounds, and we just
so destroying everything.
Yeah, just blowing up everything.
Go to terrorist hunting classic of realistic. Fuck yeah!
It's just it's so goofy, and I love it. I wish more games had cheats, but okay. What is the last game you remember having cheats in it that you played?
So I was thinking about that, and the last one that I can really think about, I don't think it's on here, right? No, was I think it was GTA.
Yeah, GTA 5 had it.
Did they have cheats
for the single player?
Did they?
Yeah, and it was like, but they weren't good. They were like low gravity, give me all guns and stuff. And then as soon as you did, you couldn't save. It's all that normal stuff.
Yeah, or like you get the 0 achievement. Like you cheated.
Well, like it's just
no, but there was
think about like most games that are single player, like Fallout or like I think Dishonored's a good single player, super open, but still missions after missions.
Yeah.
Those games would be cool with cheats, but like people don't add them because
for whatever reason
it's just not worth it at this point.
It's like the game developers from our youth, or from like who are now us making games, like my age. It feels like they just forgot about it.
Well, also it used to be cheats in games used to be about buying cheat handbooks or your buddy like saying, and then as soon as the internet hit, it was still like I remember playing like Lego Star Wars and stuff, the OG ones. Yeah. And my dad would print off cheat lists for us, and I was like, "That's such a nostalgic, awesome thing to remember."
Lego Marvel Superheroes has cheats.
That's cool.
That's one I remember. But besides this, the only reason I know that is because like Sam fucking plays the game, right?
Yeah.
But the last one that I remember, which were fun cheats, was GTA San Andreas. What my friends and I would do back in high school.
Well, that game had like hundreds of cheats in it. Like so many.
Oh, it was great. What we would do though for the cheats is we would put all civilians had rocket launchers, and all civilians were violent. So like what we would do is we'd make a point from like point to point race pretty much in our own version. Be like, if you can make it from this point to this point without dying once, you win. You couldn't. Because all these rockets and fucking shotguns, like just people blasting each other.
Okay. Speaking on that, Saints Row 3 had cheats. You could put on Mania mode where everybody attacked everybody.
Okay.
You could put on car mayhem, so everybody's just driving into each other. Easy explosive, all this stuff. So what me and my buddy would do is, since it was co-op, we get in the same game. We deck out our monster trucks, and then we say, first one to the other side of the map where everybody is trying to kill you and trying to blow you up and stuff. You could turn zombies and stuff on. Just absolute mayhem. And it was one of those things where Saints Row. God, what the fuck are you?
Wish we were becoming one.
But it was
fusion. Ha!
No.
Yeah, it happened.
But we're
we're the fat skinny version. You're like where everything gets fucked up.
If we turn this really weird version of both of us, we're just even more sad.
Yeah.
But Saints Row was a fun game to play. But did you play any of the Saints Row?
No, I never did. I always thought like, wow, this is a really shitty GTA. I was never interested in it. And then I heard him like, well, that's the point. Like, it's so fucking exaggerated, which I'm sure I would have loved, but...
basically, I think San Andreas was the last, I'd say, exaggerated GTA. Because, I mean, you had
You
like...
mean Saints Row? Or do you mean like in GTA?
No, I mean, in GTA's verse, GTA got a lot more... Well, GTA is a lot, really... It's a realistic game where the point of it is that you can go insane, and it's a huge... It's a big commentary on society itself and America as a whole. But Saints Row basically said, okay, we're just going to, after Saints Row 2, Saints Row 3, they took the craziness, jacked it up. They said, fuck it, you're a celebrity. So people want it. You can stop and take pictures with people and shit. And you're literally, there's this one mission where they put on this awesome Kanye song, and you're jumping you're parachuting onto a penthouse and taking it. And it's so ridiculous that even the people knew it, and It's fun. The missions are simple and the characters are great. And there's this one mission where you're fighting this luchador guy, and you have to do like like instead of having a normal combat thing, you have to do a normal fight with him, and then people will jump in and you have to like fist fight people. And then at the very end, there's like these big decisions with different reasons. So you have the chance to unmask the guy, which embarrasses him because he's a luchador, and you also get his mask. Or you have the chance where he says, "I'll give you all of my like military equipment and stuff if you just don't unmask me," because he's that worried about it.
Yeah.
Of course, I unmasked the dude because fuck that man. But it's like
Fuck the luchador code.
really goofy, and it's all about having money and blowing it as soon as you can. It's never about saving up for stuff. And it's about you like the cars, or you can paint any part of the car any way you want. So I remember you can get police cars and make them purple and gold. And it's just so goofy and fun. And they know it, so they just embrace it. So it's fun. It's honestly one of the more fun co-op games I've played in a while. But I don't know. What were you talking about?
It was a fun little tangent. I think we started with like movie video games. Oh, Spider-Man 2.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
One of the fun one.
That's just a really good video game.
Yep. That would have been one of the other ones I could think of that was...
hey, The Incredibles game's up here.
There you go.
What the fuck was this game? It was so weird, and I remember it so specifically because we rented the game, and I wanted to rent it like 30 times because it was so good.
But did you say it was just a top-down beat-em-up?
But I don't know if it was. I think it had other segments. I think it was a segment game, like... Because I remember when you were Dash, like the kid, you had to like run.
Like I think there's like the specific...
so yeah, here's like the beat-em-up part.
Yeah. And there's a race.
Running one, yeah.
Okay. So every level had something specific. Yeah, they're doing that now.
Are they?
Yeah, with the release of Incredibles 2, they're going to make an Incredibles video game.
How many Incredibles characters can you put into a Lego game?
I mean, if you do it right, you have all the classic characters that they really briefly mention.
Oh, yeah, and then you got like the mole dude. And
yeah, and you have like the main villain from the first one.
And you'll have all the other characters too. Yeah, this game was just weirdly good.
Yeah.
I don't remember why though. Frozone. Sup? And then they made a sequel. The sequel was an entirely just a beat 'em up, and you played as Frozone and Mr. Incredible, and that game was a beat 'em up. That one was pretty fun too.
Yeah.
But that first one was like a little bit more flexible, so it was a little more fun for that reason. It was like there's this era where Disney movies got video games regardless.
Yeah.
They just put them out. Like I remember Chicken Little had a game, and they're always weird. They were the same thing. They're always like this type of, third person's perspective platformer. But the Chicken Little game had a baseball part because there's a brief part in the movie where they play baseball. So there's a baseball diamond you can go to whenever in Chicken Little because it's open world, and you can just play baseball.
Jesus Christ!
I don't understand it. It's so weird.
You know what else is weird?
What else is weird?
Did you know? So talking about classic video games and other things like that. Do you remember back when Duke Nukem Forever came out and how much of a piece of shit it was?
Yeah, because it was the 10-year development for a piece of absolute trash.
Yep, and how they didn't change anything at all. And I think people finally realized, oh wait, that kind of sense of humor died in the 90s and late 2000s.
Yeah, are they doing like a remaster or something?
No, they're making a movie. Do you know who's tapped to play Duke Nukem?
Schwarzenegger?
John Cena!
Oh,
I'm not even lying.
Okay, John Cena's... He's a kid's... What the... What? I mean, I guess he was in that new Blockers movie.
Yeah, the Cock Blockers.
Yeah, it's not about... I'm out. I'm not going to see that movie. Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no way I'm going to see it because it's a dead franchise, but it feels like 2K Games, like, we need to make money off this fucking franchise that we bought.
Yep.
And 3D Realms is like, enjoy it, fuckers.
Who else is going to be in it? We just know John Cena.
Yeah, I think as far as I know, it's just John Cena that's going to be starring in it. He's been tapped.
The Splinter Cell. They did a Splinter Cell movie?
That might be a fan thing. Sometimes when you see those things on IMDb, it's just like a fan game or a fan thing.
You always look at the writers and directors.
Yeah.
And it's Andrew Adams and Ben Adams.
Yeah.
John, yeah.
Oh, this could have been something that Ubisoft created too. You know, like Ubisoft does those Assassin's Creed, like little short films.
This guy doesn't look like Sam Fisher. He's a white dude with a beard, but that's about it.
Oh, there it is. There's Collins with the John Cena. Yeah, so you seriously have no interest in watching a Duke Nukem movie?
No, I always didn't like. Even when it was like younger and a little bit more part of like Duke Nukem, I mean, I was too young to understand the sense of humor. As soon as I was old enough, I didn't find it funny. If that makes sense.
I'm the same way about this this movie that came out on Netflix, and I'm very disappointed about it.
Movie.
So there's these 3 guys from a show called Workaholics. Excuse me.
Oh,
Game Over Man.
I didn't watch it.
No, don't. It's terrible. It's a. My parents are like, oh my god, it's so funny. We laughed so hard. Like, here's a scene that made us fucking.
That shit makes me so sad when my parents love something and I'm like, I know it's trash.
So like last night not last night, on Friday, before we started like doing the heavy production, we're like, all right, fuck it, like Tracy and I, let's just watch Game Over Man.
It's got 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, dude. There's a good reason.
Oh, and I love these actors.
I know. And like their jokes, the big joke at the beginning was like, use condoms, and like one guy accidentally wakes up and like bites into a dirty condom because he's like high on salvia, and like you gotta smirk so it sounds like it could be funny.
No, I'm not smirking. I'm cringing at that, dude. That's not funny to me.
And then they have so do you remember Home Alone? You have the tall, skinny burglar. The one's like, we need a moniker. Like, let's be the Wet Bandits.
Yeah.
So he's in it, and he's this old pervert dude, and he gets his dick chopped off, and that's a joke. And he's like.
Yeah, all right. Like I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah, it's just like such promise because like I love those guys, those workaholic guys. Terrible fucking movie.
Okay, you know what's a movie that everyone shit on that I actually kind of liked?
What's that? Sausage Party?
No, I didn't watch Sausage Party.
Sausage Party was funny and dumb.
I like Seth Rogen, but I was like, I can't take that much Seth Rogen. I feel like I wouldn't enjoy it, and that would kind of make it worse.
You would enjoy Seth Rogen's Hilarity for Charity. That's on Netflix right now. He's barely in it, and it's just him raising money for Alzheimer's.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But anyways, so what's the movie?
What the fuck is it called?
Who's in it?
Is it Internship?
Is that the Robert De Niro, Anne Hathaway movie?
No. What the fuck is this movie called?
Is it the Vince Vaughn?
Yeah. This one, the one where they go to Google. It's not a good movie by any means, but I like it. I don't know why.
See, to me, I never watched it, so I will be very open about it, and I'll give it a shot. But when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, you're just trying to recapture the Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
That magic duo that those two had together.
I felt like it actually had some pretty funny writing with the idea of 2 old guys at this super millennial company. But like it also like it was a recapture of, hey, let's do Wedding Crashers again, but throw Google in there.
Now we're old.
But there was some moments that were genuinely like nice, and I knew it had flaws, but I just kind of enjoyed it. And like I remember, I like told somebody, I'm like, hey, I like this movie, and they're like, that movie's fucking trash, and they're like shitting on me. I was like, whoa.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I take it back. You're right. It's wrong, and I'm gay for liking it.
It's usually what I do, but it felt weird to.
You get super submissive about it. You're right. Your dick's huge. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. You're right, Dad.
God, Jesus Christ, why would you have to take it there? Because, I got to end it on that now. Hope you're happy.
On Dad?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make another joke.
Right.
So, I heard this the other day.
Okay.
What did the cob of corn say after its clothes fell off?
Oh, my God. What?
It's giving me the zoom. Aw, shucks. Get it? Because corn shucks. Oh my God, I love the shot of just me tormenting Justin.
Okay. All right. Can we get the 2 shots so we can end this, please? Now
This
is.
You have to shuck corn before you eat it. And aw shucks, like the saying. Do you know where I stole that from? Bo Burnham's special. He has a joke in it where he's like, yo, usually we're pretty high action, high intensity, so I'm gonna slow this joke down for you. And then it goes, and he goes, what did the corn? And he actually does it in slow motion. It's so stupid. I fucking love it.
Okay, everybody. Well, this has been an exciting, very talkative return of Liberty.
To greatness. Whoa. Turn that down a bit, Lib.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us for the Select Star Network. I've been one of your hosts, Justin Larchey. Thank you, Liberty, for joining us. SSN Larchey on Twitter. Quickly, plug.
Libtree80 or Liberty.Roundtree. I don't remember.
Yeah, okay, guys. Bye, everybody. We love you.
Ah, shucks.
All right, now here's the tricky part, Matt. How we going to do this? Yeah. Okay. So here's the tricky part, Tyler. You're going to now quickly turn off the mics and bring back the picture so we can do the whole credit roll.